All right, One-Eyed Jack's here, and we're going to go over to an explanation of Kubrick's puzzle language, and we're going to begin with the fact that we're making the Trojan horse. He's hammering the Greek myths in your head. So let's take a look at this. Here we have the labyrinth and the Minotaur. This is Danny and Jack. This is told to us in interviews that Jack is the Minotaur and Danny is Theseus, and he's, then we have the Cyclops and Hal, the one-eyed monster. And we have the Minotaur again and the Cyclops, the cycloptic fisheye, and we have Danny walking in his own footprints. We have the Minotaur. It's the Minotaur myth. So we've been given these Greek myths, the Cyclops, the Minotaur. So one of the myths that we haven't covered really is the Trojan horse. So how do I arrive at the Trojan horse? How do you extract the Trojan horse from Kubrick's movies? And the answer is it's encoded in the actual films themselves. So here's some of the, we're going over the images of previous Greek allegories he's used. So let's go over the allegory of the Minotaur, or the Trojan horse. So you'll notice that a Trojan horse is a wooden frame.
We're folding the vest up, trying to chase down a wood tick.
And so you're gonna have this repeating woods, chains.
I was kicking your ass back there. Did I give you wood? What? Huh? You get a little mahogany from that, a little ebony? Come on, tell the truth.
I oak myself. That's what I have in my bedroom. How about you, Jimmy?
Now,
You an oak
no,
man?
Jupiter's wood is the mighty oak,
Oak's nice.
and the sycamore. And the
I hate
horses.
Vietnam. There's not one horse in this whole country.
Repeating
They don't have one horse
horses.
in Vietnam. There's something basically wrong with that.
Now here we go to Barry Lyndon, probably a Kubrick movie many people haven't seen. But there's a scene in the movie where his son is crippled by the gift horse. It's his birthday. He gets a horse for his birthday. It's his gift horse.
I noticed the lad riding
And the
across the
horse
field,
rears
sir,
up
having trouble with the
and
horse, which
crushes
was
him.
flying up a
So
bit.
this is the allegorical story of
Suddenly
Kubrick is on the gift
animal
horse.
punched and reared, and the poor lad was
And
thrown.
he gets thrown off the horse again.
Why did you disobey me?
I'm sorry, Papa. You won't hit me, will you?
And then we have Red Room, three-time Grand National Champion horse.
Rum.
Red Rum. So there's this common theme of wood. So it's always trees and woods, trees and woods,
Red rum!
horses.
Stop it! Red rum! Red rum!
Red Room, Grand National.
When you were stabbing that vampire in there, yeah? Did you get a little wood?
Mahogany.
It's like a John Carpenter.
What? Teak.
The sycamore
So one of the things that's noted about the Trojan horse is it's very hard to exit the vehicle because you got to do battle with the enemy as soon as you exit.
And just about this time, I'm probably in the car on the way to the studio, which, as it happens, reminds me of a conversation I had with Steven Spielberg about what was the most difficult and challenging thing about directing a film. And I believe Steven summed it up about as profoundly as you can. He thought the most difficult and challenging thing about directing a film
Yeah,
was
exiting
getting
the
out of
vehicle.
the car. I'm sure
Very
you all know the
difficult to
feeling.
do.
the sycamore
let's go back into the infancy.
What are you thinking about?
A job. Your kind of a job with a rifle.
What kind of money, Pops?
5,000.
What do I have to kill?
A horse.
A horse.
A horse?
A four-legged horse.
And for that I get 5,000.
Well, for that and
I figured that'd be a gimmick.
well, a gimmick isn't as tough as you may think. You shoot the horse, and if by any chance anything goes wrong, you don't squawk.
Shot.
The sycamore, the sycamore tree.
All right, let's watch it. This is a Morgan convertible. This car is noted for having a wooden frame.
Your attention, ladies
There's
and
a
gentlemen.
Morgan convertible
The
with a
horses
wooden
are now on
frame.
the track for the
Just like the
7th
Adams
race.
probe.
The
It's a
$100,000
handmade
Adams
vehicle
Lansdowne
that has a
Stakes
wooden
at 1
frame.
mile.
That's very weird.
No, sir. I don't reckon I'll
So here he's trying to give him the horseshoe for good
I
luck.
brought you some luck, mister.
And he
You
insults
bet in
him
this
and gives
race,
him a
I
cracker
figure you
gun.
might need it. Oh, now look, keep your junk and leave me alone, will you? Something wrong? You're
So
wrong,
he has to get
nigga.
rid of him.
Now, be a nice guy and go on about your
So
business.
he refuses the horseshoe.
Sure, boss. Sorry to bother you. My mistake.
So Tim Carey, this is a Kubrick movie, one of the early ones. He's going to shoot Red Lightning
Little Arnie is next. Seymour's darling.
as he comes around the corner. So once again, we have a
Moving down the
horse.
backstretch, it's Red Lightning by a length and a quarter. I'm hoping it's second by 3/4 of a length. Little Arnie is third.
You know,
by
lightning
a
is
length
one
and
of
a quarter,
Jupiter's
and
attributes.
Seymour's darling. It
Focus
is Red
is
Lightning
straight.
in front by a length and a quarter. Little Arnie is second by half a length. I'm hoping it's third.
And the horse is down.
It is Red Lightning. At the head of the stretch, it is I'm
So
hoping
he
taking
starts
the
his
lead
wooden
by
frame,
half a length.
handmade Morgan convertible. And he immediately gets a flat tire from the horseshoe. The horseshoe punctures his tire. Now there's a continuity error. There's no horseshoe there, but there's one there. So that's pretty
Nicky
weird.
was dead at 4:24.
Any other horseshoe on the wall in the overlook when the phones go out? And you have the Catcher in the Rye. And this Catcher in the Rye, Holden Caulfield's sister wants to ride the carousel, which is a wooden horse. And you have the Mustang is released. Its first Mustang ever is a 1964 World's Fair in Corona, shaped like a horseshoe. There's the Mustang. It's a horse. There's the Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. And we see the carousel in the front of the cover. So they're wooden horses. They go around in a circle. It's an allegory to the world you live on. You don't live on a globe. You live on a flat plane. And you're riding the carousel and you're a little child. And you have Douglas fir needles. This is another clue. Then you have the Pinto, another horse, you know, flying Pinto. Flying Nazi Pinto. Now you got to remember the Pinto exploded when it was hit from the rear. And also you should remember the Pinto debuted on 9/11. So that's interesting. There's the Pinto. Pulp, wood pulp fiction. You know, pulp is made from wood. And we have the Kubrick toy figurine called Buzz Aldrin and Andy's toy in Toy Story, a wooden doll. Shea Stadium is nicknamed the Horseshoe. This is where the Beatles play the first time. This is where the World's Fair happens. And then you have the Corona Borealis, which is the Minotaur myth, which is also shaped like a horseshoe. Then you have Men in Black is filmed in Corona, Flushing, Queens. And then you have the coronal suture. The Coneheads only have a coronal suture. They don't have the sagittal suture. And you have the Kubrick figurine left on the moon with all the dead astronauts on it. Card. They left a death card.
That's what we have. 2 spades, 3 of spades, 4 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, 8 of spades. Isn't one worth a jack of the whole bunch? Hey, Captain! What's that?
Yes, cards!
What?
Yes, cards! Let's Charlie know who did this!
And then you have the man who made the Kubrick figurine, the only art piece that's on the moon. And you have the Kubrick figurines that we see in Toy Story, and the carpets match just like The Shining. You know, it's all these little breadcrumbs of, um, you know, we have a wooden Kubrick cowboy figurine. So we have a cowboy. And we have Woody Strode, the first professional football player. Woody Strode and his trident. And the Trojan horse. So you either push or pull the Trojan horse, it's on wheels, into the enemy encampment. And then at some point you have to get out of the vehicle. You know, no matter what you do, no matter how long you delay, you can't stand there forever. You have John Carpenter. So we're talking about wood, carpenter. Hot rod. You have a wooden rod dowel. You have 911, the Pinto. It's a horse. It explodes from the rear. You know. You have Pinocchio, a wooden doll that thinks he's real. You have the clues to vampirism. And the horseshoe. You have the horseshoe. There's always the horseshoe is in there. And you have Jack Lemon Tree. And the Timberline Lodge, built on the graveyard of Indians. You have Kubrick's first picture, FDR Dead. You have FDR dedicates the Timberline Lodge. You have Chiquita Banana Tree guitar. And then you have all the Woody, Dick, penis. So a Woody can be an erection. So all the erection jokes in here
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
are directly.
What is it, son?
It's
I don't know,
Kubrick's
sir.
language.
But it looks like a giant dick.
You have Dick Nixon,
Yeah. Take a look at a star.
Peter Sellers,
Oh my God! It looks like a huge.
Woody Woodpecker,
Oh yeah.
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like
Private
someone...
Pile.
We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
So you get the blue marble and
That
blue
looks
ball
just like an
scrap
enormous wang.
and the Wang
Pay
computer.
attention.
I was distracted
Always a
by that
computer.
enormous flying...
Willie. Yeah. What's that? Well, it looks like
Johnson.
a giant.
Johnson.
So you got
Yes, sir.
Lyndon Johnson,
Get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
Diane Johnson. You got Minnie, Me, and Dr. Evil. They're small and big, polar opposite. And the penis, you know, and it's just ridiculous.
Did we get Dr. E? No, sir. He got away in that rocket that looks like a huge...
Penis. The male reproductive organ.
So these are all Woodies.
Tallywhacker, schlong, or...
Wiener? Any of you kids want another wiener?
A Woody is a wiener, is a Peter, is a Johnson,
know,
is a Dick,
son, but
is
it's
it's the
great
same thing.
Nuts.
Salty nuts.
Salty nuts. Who wants some? Lord Almighty.
That looks just like my husband.
One-eyed monster.
One-eyed monster.
Wow, that's just
Step
amazing.
right up and see the
So a
one-eyed
wiener
monster.
is a Woody, is a Dick, is a
Hey, what's that? It looks like a big...
Woody.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson? Can I have your autograph?
Sure, no problem. Oh, my Lord. Look at that thing.
So big.
I've seen bigger. That's
And
just a
it
little
comes all the way
prick.
around because the
It's a blue shot.
shot,
You've been in the coldness of space. I didn't want you to get sick.
you know, he's a little guy.
It's one thing
He's
to
a
attack
dwarf
me.
star.
It's quite another to
He's full
attack
of
my
stars.
mini-me. I'm gonna get you
So-
all powers.
We're building lists of wood and lists of horses.
One of the woods we're getting is the petrified Netherlands moon rock that was given to the Netherlands by Buzzy Aldrin. And it's not a real moon rock. It's a petrified wood rock. So it's a connector word. It's a connector word, and you're connecting the monolithic category to the wood category. So here's a, you know, it's not a real moon rock. There's no trees on the moon. So here's a Van Gogh painting called Prisoners Exercising. It's a flat earth encapsulated in a picture. There's a picture of Kubrick's movie Clockwork Orange. It's a copy of Van Gogh's Prisoners Exercising. There's Kirk Douglas. He's the first cuckoo bird. He also plays Van Gogh in a movie. And there he is as the first cuckoo bird ever. So he is crazy. So Van Gogh was crazy. Jack Nicholson is crazy. Kirk Douglas is the first cuckoo bird. Scatman is a cuckoo bird. So there's the Corona, Flushing, Queens, New York, where the Unisphere is. There's the comparison between the Kubrick picture and the Van Gogh. There's a picture of Van Gogh after he cuts his ear off. It's a gag gift. He gives this gag gift ear to his girlfriend. So we go to Pulp Fiction, we have the gag gifts. We go to Reservoir Dogs, and you have the guy cuts his ear off. Then you have, it's all the same thing. So it's a wood rock. It's part of the Trojan horse. It's part of the attack. And these things are encoded in everywhere in Kubrick's little puzzle. So the blue marble is a ball gag. You have Van Gogh's you get Van Gogh's ear gag gift. You have the Netherlands gag gift rock. And you have the blue marble, a ball gag. So that's it. That's their joke.
I first saw the documentary when Alex Jones aired it on Austin Public Access TV. I was shocked. Here's where it gets interesting. The documentary uses the music from Twin Peaks from start to finish, specifically Laura Palmer's theme.
Paul Benassi has come too. Larry King threw child sex parties at his $5,000 a month Washington house. Paul Benassi was one of the victims.
So there you go. You have woods and horses over and over and over and over again. And I want to hear what you guys think. Email me below. If I missed some, I'm sure there's ones I've forgotten or missed, or it's hard to keep track of all of them at once. And I hope I don't get flagged on this because I love that song. I posted the name of the artist that did the remix, and Jimmy Scott. Jimmy Scott. I mean, he's just friggin' amazing. And that's it, guys. If you liked it, subscribe because man, it is so hard to get subscribers. Um, you know, I'm demonetized, and whatever the new algorithm is, I'm not tuned into their new algorithm. And I blurred and I did everything I could do in this video to not get flagged. The video is completely almost obscure. It's black and white. And that's it, guys. Have a great night. Carpe diem.